This is Michael Lewis, former New Orleans Saints punt kick returner. You're watching WGS-TV.
You have warped your way into another episode of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer. I'm the WrestleGamer, WB Bowling Bujo. I'm going to be talking about Monday Night Raw for the week of July 8th. I'm sorry, June 8th. I wish it was July 8th because then half the summer would already be over and we'd be out of this freaking heat wave. But anyway, it's for June 8th, 2015. Joining me on the review this week, ladies and gentlemen, he is a resident music mogul over on YouTube.com/LanceMossTV, the incomparable Lance Moss. Lance, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, just trying to stay cool.
Yeah, so are we in Louisiana. At the time of this, guys and gals, we just went through a torrential downpour here in Louisiana. So when I go to the SmackDown tapings tonight, I'm hoping that the weather won't be too bad to be out there. But anyway, let's look at Monday Night Raw from last night. First off, ladies and gentlemen, we had John Cena coming out there, and I got to say, I love that segment. Kevin Owens is as much as I got on him at first when he first came into NXT about his lack of being able to verbally properly talk on the microphone, minus all of the Steen-like qualities he used to have in his independent promos. Lance, I think you probably have an idea as to what I'm talking about. And he's really come onto his own. He's really developed his mic skills incredibly well. And then the NXT Championship Open Challenge. Adrian, what a way to open up Monday Night Raw, Lance. Neville and Kevin Owens, Darcy Cheatham put it on the Facebook page. Did you ever think you would see Pac versus Kevin Steen to open up a Monday Night Raw?
Not for a while, at least. Not for a while. That's almost like saying you'd see Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, or as most of y'all might know him as El Generico versus Kevin Steen.
What an amazing match that was. You know, can't see anything bad about it. Owens would hit the pop-up powerbomb, and there's a lot of speculation. Would he drop the title to Neville, or would he retain it? And it was still my understanding that Kevin Owens is still billed to be the NXT champion come the July 4th show in Tokyo. And I don't think WWE wants to probably change that. I think, if anything, if they were going to drop the title or take it off of Kevin Owens, I think the July 4th in Japan, where Finn Balor has actually made a huge name for himself in the wrestling industry, I think that would probably be the place to do it. And bump Owens up to the main roster on a permanent basis. Yeah. Because he's really proven himself. I know he's proven himself in the independents. He's ran through NXT, and just on in-ring ability alone, his mic skills weren't really up to par, but he's really developed really well, and it was glad to see that. I was glad to see that. Cena on commentary, he contributed a little bit to the match, not too much. But you want to talk about a letdown after that? The next match, Nikki Bella and Summer Rae. What the hell was that?
Piss break?
Pretty much. Nikki Bella would hit the rack attack on Summer Rae to pick up the win. And then we would have a big segment surrounding the Money in the Bank ladder match. I'm only going to say is, why was R-Truth out there? R-Truth is going out there like he's going to cut a promo about being Money in the Bank. Kane said, "You're not in the match, Truth." He said, "Really? My bad, New Orleans, my bad." And everybody, I'm surprised Kane kept a straight face for that. And I'm going to applaud him for that, because
Ziggler and Rollins sure as hell didn't.
No, they broke down. They couldn't help it. That was some funny stuff. And basically, every person in the Money in the Bank ladder match will come out, minus two people, of course. Neville, we already saw him tonight, or last night, rather, at that point in time. And then Sheamus's opponent for last night was Randy Orton. I got to say, Randy Orton looks in really good shape, always. He's got a very crisp drop kick. And it doesn't matter how older he gets, that drop kick just looks better and better every time I see it. But the finish, I had to step away, so I do apologize. But when I did come back at that point in time, it was to see Randy Orton doing his Randy Orton pose on the turnbuckles while his music is playing. So either a match ended, or that he hit the RKO, or if there were chairs involved. I'm not entirely positive about that, but anyway, it's going to make Money in the Bank a little bit interesting to watch. Dolph Ziggler and Kane was quite interesting in itself, wouldn't you say, Lance? And especially with Rusev coming out there to, I guess, talk with Lana, and Lana having a little bit of an accident. We put that in quotation marks.
Yeah, this is definitely a good way to keep this feud going, even though, Ziggler's in Money in the Bank, and Rusev's kind of bummed up or laid up right now. So this is the perfect way. Have him piss off Lana's new guy, and the whole injury thing, woman injury. That's a angle point as old as time, but in a good way.
I think I need to bring something to everyone's attention, with me being a huge independent guy myself and knowing a lot of great independent workers. The doctor that was tending to Lana's ankle backstage with the ice was actually former GCW Cruiserweight champion Kid Crash. He goes by the name of Corey Constantine in other promotions, but around the area I'm in with GCW and Mid-South Extreme, that's Kid Crash. So Kid Crash got in some time on WWE programming. So bravo to Kid Crash for that one. Former GCW Cruiserweight champion on WWE TV, guys and gals. Also, they did make the huge announcement that they selected 40 guys out of a possible 11,000. I was under the impression for Tough Enough that millions of people sent in videos for that, not just 11,000. So for some reason, I think that I don't know if the number is flawed or what, but something seems off about that. But I don't know. Well, Lance, what did you think about MizTV with Ryback and Big Show? What the hell was that?
Honestly, I've said it before. I hate when they do the MizTVs. I just never really get into this particular show they have on their main show. But hell, I don't know.
Well, yeah, and basically what this was, it was a promo for the Intercontinental Championship match happening at Money in the Bank between Ryback and the Big Show, and with Miz being so heavily involved in it, that I would not be surprised. And Lance, I'm speaking hypothetically, but from, since they started this angle with Big Show actually knocking out Miz, they continued the angle on MizTV where they went after Miz. What are the chances of them inserting Miz into the Intercontinental Championship match and making it a triple threat?
Well, WWE logic being what it is, if something seems really obvious, chances are it's gonna freaking happen. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if on the 1 hour pre-show, why the hell we need a 1 hour pre-show for a non-Big Four show? I have no idea, but that's another case. They say, and breaking news, we will have the Miz has been added to the Intercontinental title match.
And and R-Truth will have some involvement in Money in the Bank. However, it will be on the kickoff show once it takes on King Barrett. Why wasn't King Barrett used in the Money in the Bank ladder match? I mean, if they're going to use big names. Now, I will say this, though, and I'm just going to speak on it briefly before I do a full preview of the Money in the Bank ladder match. But think of the names that are in there: Neville, Dolph Ziggler, Kofi Kingston. Those three guys will take major Uber bumps. And and to see, I've never seen Pac in a ladder match, but I can only imagine just what the hell he can do in a ladder match, considering what we've seen out of him as Neville in the WWE.
Billy, if I may, look up Adrian Neville versus Bo Dallas in the very
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it completely slipped my mind. I do apologize. I didn't start watching NXT until this past October. Anyway, following that, we went to Roman and Harper, Eric Rowan, Luke Harper, taking on Los Matadores, where they would debut their move, the Way, which was actually the 3D. And Lance, if you saw the second one they did to the other one, that one was, I'm going to say, about 90% botched.
Yeah, and Bubba Ray is none too thrilled with that from what I've seen on Twitter.
Yeah, I can about imagine, because they've taken Team 3D's move that they perfected and made famous over the years and just made it look like a joke. And then that promo that they cut after the match would kind of lead me to believe the direction they're going is a reunification with Bray Wyatt and bringing back the Wyatt family. Because ever since the Wyatt family broke up, what have they really done? A big fat zero. Nothing. Sure, they may have put the Intercontinental Championship on Luke Harper, but what did he do? Nothing. You know, nothing to stand out. And they were always better, I think, together as a faction. So I think that's why we need the Wyatt family back. Speaking of factions, the next two matches would involve the New Day.
Sucks.
It would be Big E and Titus O'Neil, which was basically a way to build into the tag team title match between the Primetime Players and the New Day.
Sucks.
Thanks to distraction from the New Day, Big E was able to hit the big ending on Titus to pick up the win. But before they could really celebrate, Roman Reigns would come out for a really good match, in my opinion, with Kofi Kingston. And I gotta say, Lance, I love that finish, catching him with the Superman punch. Well, as he was coming off the top rope, again, timing is key in spots, and that had to be perfect.
Yeah, because it looked like Chris Tucker said it best in Friday. You got knocked the hell out.
Now, the Authority would give Seth Rollins the chance to pick his own opponent for Monday Night Raw. As we want to make on a side note that Dean Ambrose was all over Bourbon Street in New Orleans with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and that's what they were kind of building throughout the night for their match. And Seth Rollins was so frustrated they ended up picking J&J Security because he blamed J&J Security for Dean Ambrose's taking of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Lance, my question to you, after seeing what we saw out of Seth Rollins versus J&J Security, is why in the hell have J&J Security been used as joke talent all this time when they can clearly go with any of the other active members on the roster?
Because if you notice, once somebody gets past a certain age in the WWE, they kind of start not treating them quite so nice, if you what I'm saying. They start jobbing them. I mean, hell, look what they're doing to Kane.
Yeah, you got a point there. At one point, the fans were actually chanting towards them, "You still got it. You still got it." What do you think that meant to those two guys to hear that in the ring? You still got it from the fans.
Well, I think it made them feel good as all hell because, granted, they are great talents. It's just right now some stuff happened, made them have to retire, and to be able to still perform made them feel good, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I would think so too. And the finish would come down to a bit of controversy. Apparently, Dean Ambrose was actually cheering for J&J Security, and then when Seth Rollins was about to apply the pedigree to, I believe it was Jamie Noble, Dean Ambrose hopped the guardrail, threw the title belt, and have it, and Seth Rollins went for it, and then that allowed Noble to tag in Joey Mercury, former three-time WWE Tag Team Champion, who schoolboys Seth Rollins and gets the pin. J&J Security get the win over Seth Rollins. That's all I can say about it. that's really all I can say about that, folks. Is J&J Security pinned Seth Rollins. Now we're going to go to this. We're going to social media here.
Really, you forgot one thing.
Oh, what was that?
Seth Rollins did not leave with the title.
Oh no, he did not. And thanks to Dean Ambrose and the Dirty Deeds, Dean Ambrose once again took back the WWE World Heavyweight Championship belt. Now, as we go to social media on the Facebook page, guys and gals, we got a couple of reviews to read for you. First off comes from our old friend James from the Big Easy. He couldn't join us on the review this time, but he did send in his review. As you guys see, my little sister in the background right there. She's making her WGS-TV debut. He said he was actually there at Monday Night Raw. He said he had a fun time at the Raw event. He gives it a 3.5 out of 5. The best match or segment of the night for match is Kevin Owens versus Neville. Segment R-Truth. Worst match was Nikki Bella versus Summer Rae. James's 5 points of review. Number 1, open segment and match was awesome. 2, Dolph Ziggler isn't winning Money in the Bank. Number 3, I wonder if Luke Harper and Eric Rowan will go after the tag titles. 4, haven't we seen Ryback pick up the Big Show before? And 5, New Day still
sucks.
Yep, and guys and gals, WGS-TV is also partnering with another Facebook page on here. It's called, as I bring it up on here, the WWE Result Zone on Facebook. We'll put the link in the description box for you guys to check them out. And it's our old friend Yell, but he goes by the name Jay on the page. Jay says, it was a good Raw, not a great Raw, just good. He also gives it a 3.5 out of 5. The opening segment between Cena and Owens was good. Both men bickering about who's delusional and going back and forth about their open challenges, turning into letting whoever came out choosing what title he wants was a great booking decision. Neville coming out and choosing Owens over Cena made NXT look strong. I got to agree with you on that one, Jay. Both Owens and Neville gave a great showing, hyped for Money in the Bank rematch between Cena and Owens. The entire evening's booking of Rollins was interesting. I kind of digged Rollins teasing to go on his own. His shtick with Kane and J&J Security was great. Yeah, it was. It was nice to see that Noble and Mercury can still go in the ring. And about the J&J Security backstage segment, that breakup though, no more Shield 2.0. I still kind of expect Rollins to realign himself back with the Authority before the main event match at Money in the Bank. More than likely, we might see that. The in-ring segment between all Money in the Bank ladder match competitors, that opening back and forth trash talk between Kane and Reigns was nice. Poor Kane, though, constantly being interrupted by other competitors. All competitors competing against each other was expected as they do it every year. A few good matches. This will be an interesting match. I hope Ziggler wins, but smart money would bet on Reigns winning. Now, one thing we learned from WWE Elimination Chamber, Jay, is if something appears to be obvious, that gives WWE the opportunity to throw in a swerve. Case in point, how many people will pick Kevin Owens to beat John Cena cleanly at Elimination Chamber? I want to say very few people. And after Elimination Chamber, those few people had big smiles on their faces. I'm just saying, if something appears to be obvious, don't take it to that point where WWE now has the ability to swerve us by going in a completely opposite direction. All right, what WTF? There's kids in here. WTF was the deal with R-Truth? I get it was a comedy spot, but come on, if he isn't in the ladder match, but rather on the pre-show, and simply keep him out of this segment. Come on, creative, it's not that hard. The MizTV segment, this was the talk segment of the night by far. Miz getting trash talked and owned on the mic by Ryback was great. Big Show's part in the interview segment was good too. I might take back my words from the last week. If Show can keep up this intensity, it might become an interesting feud. Ryback shell-shocking Big Show was a sight to see. One question, though. Is it me, or is it getting obvious that following Money in the Bank, this will turn into a three-way feud for the Intercontinental title? We were just talking about that, Lance, just a couple of minutes ago. Finally, that Dean Ambrose booking. What more can I say about the past few weeks? WWE is doing a great job with booking Ambrose. They should have done this a long time ago. Hell, Would they have done it in this way as soon as the Ambrose-Rollins feud started last year? Ambrose would have easily kicked Cena off of the #1 face spot, and potentially that could have happened. With how much was into that feud with Ambrose and Rollins when it first started, it definitely had that potential. All right, and the way Jay has been ending his reviews this week, Lance, is that he's been he likes to end it on a question that he would have, whether it's just me or if it's just the both of us or the rest of the guys. He always has a question. All right, his question says, "Will WWE go all out at Money in the Bank and officially make Dean Ambrose champion or not?" What do you think, Lance?
I'd love to see it, but I kind of doubt it.
Well, it's really hard to say because WWE was, like I just said, it's been actually doing good at placing swerves, making something appear something that's going to be so obvious that we're all intent, and we're all seeing like, oh, this is going to happen, this is what we're going to see happen, this is definitely going to happen, and then WWE pulls in a swerve and does the complete opposite and takes us all by surprise. So I would not be surprised to see them put the title on Dean Ambrose at Money in the Bank. I would not be surprised to see that, because that has a way of probably prolonging and extending the Ambrose-Rollins feud. Now, do they need the WWE World Heavyweight Championship to prolong the feud between these two guys? At this point in time, I would say yes, because it makes for an incentive to the storyline, and that incentive is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Both men want to be champion, and that's really all I can come up with that one. But Jay from WrestleZone, thank you very much. Be sure you guys check out their link in the description box and check out and like up their Facebook page as well. Overall score on Monday Night Raw this week being the go-home show to Money in the Bank. It's going to get a solid 3.5 out of 5 from me. I got to agree with everyone out there. Best match of the night, I got to go to Owens and Neville, because that was a kick-ass way to start off Monday Night Raw and really makes NXT look strong as well. Because ever since they bumped up Owens and start bringing him to the main roster and putting him on the Raw and the SmackDown, that's giving NXT, in my opinion, a lot of mainstream attention. Because a lot of people who don't have WWE Network and they haven't subscribed to it for the low price of
$9.99.
And they don't have the opportunity to watch NXT like we do, and they don't know the amazing talent that comes out of there. And ever since they bumped up the NXT champion to the main roster, and we've been seeing him on Raw and SmackDown, that's bringing a lot of mainstream media to the NXT brand of WWE, and therefore giving NXT, in my personal opinion, the much needed attention it rightly deserves. Because right now, NXT, I have to say, it is the better brand of WWE than Raw and SmackDown, because it's much for a 1 hour show, they put on a much better show than a 3 hour one. We're just saying. And the fact that the last week was only the first time I've ever had a worse segment of the night for an NXT, and that was Eva Marie being out there. Lance, if you only would have seen that, they booed her out of the place. But anyway, worst match of the night, I'm going to go to Nikki Bella and some Marie. What the hell was that for? What was the point of it?
Piss break.
Exactly. And just when we were starting to give the Divas some credit as of late in the WWE. But anyway, that's been my thoughts. Lance, over to you, your overall score and your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week.
Well, overall, I got to agree with y'all with a 3.5 out of 5. Best match definitely has to go to Neville versus Owens. Best segment, it's going to be part of the main event match. I go with best segment as whatever the hell Dean Ambrose was doing outside in that main event. That crazy son of a bitch.
Oh my God, that was funny. That was funny, but I gotta think of what R-Truth was a bit more funnier than he's out there. Am I in the Money in the Bank match? No. Oh, my bad. Go on. And Reigns and Ziggler losing it. Yeah. Oh man, and you got to applaud Kane because I don't know how he kept a straight face for that.
Well, if you notice, he went like,
yeah,
he did the mouth so he could laugh a little bit.
Oh man. Anyway, guys and gals, we'll be to know from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week. What are your overall scores? What are your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week? We definitely want to know what you guys out there have to say. Be sure to put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit that like button. Lance, what can fans expect to see when they come visit your channel over on youtube.com/LanceMossTV?
Album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, redneck Ormington videos, musical equipment reviews, some rants, the archives of controversies and scandals, and a couple of other things. So subscribe if you hadn't already, and hit him on Twitter. It's at LanceMossTV.
WGS-TV is on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Be sure you check out the links in the description box for those. And also be sure you subscribe for more content like this, all the wrestling reviews, our live pay-per-view hangouts. And also don't forget the gaming aspect of WGS-TV, the Let's Plays, which, by the way, you can check out 2 of them in the annotations at the end of this video, and the links will be provided in the description box below. So with that being said, for the incomparable Lance Moss from Lance Moss TV, I'm the Wrestle Gamer. There will be only be drunk, so we'll see you at the next Warp Zone. Oh. Damn it!